If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as well as follow me and subscribe to me on all my other social media platforms. What's up, Thrashers, and welcome back once again to the Thrash Maniac 99 YouTube channel, and I'm back with another album review for you guys. This weekend, we're going to be covering a couple of underground releases that I was curious to check out for different reasons, and the one I am covering tonight is the longer of the two albums that I'm doing reviews for. This one is the sophomore effort from technically a one-man melodic black death metal band from Canada, and the album is called Everlasting Ascendancy by Malice Divine. So yeah, this came out on the 27th of January, and yeah, this is the second album from this project. And the mastermind behind this band is one Rick Galvez, or Galvez, I think it's Galvez. Rick Galvez, who's doing vocals, guitar, and bass, but for the drums, he would get Dylan Gowan from Vesperia and also from Banger TV's review group. So, first time I've ever listened to Dylan's drumming ever on anything. But, yeah, so going into this, you know, not knowing about this project and then looking at the metal archives, and I saw there was one big band that they were compared to, and that was Dissection. And I'm a big Dissection fan, particularly the first two albums. But, and also because it was seen as melodic black / death metal, which I do like that sound done right, you know, Necrophobic, Dissection, bands along those lines that kind of mix mellow death and black metal together. Although I will say, top to bottom in terms of the songwriting with this album, it's more closer to a mellow death album than black metal. There are definitely black metal moments. I mean, the vocals are pretty much black metal, but like musically, it's more melodic death metal, I would say, at least to my ears. I mean, you kick things off with Silence Judgment, which has some cool blackened tremolo riffs, but it's more like a straightforward blast beat. But the delivery of this track, as well as several other songs on the album, is very thrashy. Kind of reminds me a lot of like Modern Creator more than Dissection or even like At the Gates. But especially what I really like is that a good chunk of these songs, like particularly the first two tracks and then another track we'll talk about, there's some cool death metal parts, like in Silence Judgment, and then the following track, Apparitions of Conquest, and then a couple tracks later with At One with Infinity, you get some awesome death metal sections. Like in the first two tracks again, Silence Judgment and Apparitions of Conquest, you get these like cool death metal breakdowns, while with the track At One with Infinity, pretty much the entire track is in like a death metal triplet chug. Like, that opening riff with those triplet chugs remind me of like a slightly more melodic Blood Red Throne, which was really cool. And then you even get on that song little atonal lines with the guitars, but then towards the end it gets like full-on Iron Maiden. And even on a couple of tracks like here, and then the track before, Usurping the Paragon, you get some like cool Iron Maiden melodies and lead work. Like in Usurping the Paragon, the leads even get harmonized at the end, which gives it that like Dave Murray, Adrian Smith harmonized guitar feel. But speaking of Usurping the Paragon, that track starts off very much like an At the Gates track. It's very thrashy, but the riffing's very melodic, but then you get almost Children of Bodom type tremolos and double bass parts. So this track was almost like the love child of Children of Bodom and At the Gates, and you got that track. Best way I could describe it. Parasitic Demons starts off similar to Usurping the Paragon. That's with that like At the Gates type of riffing and drum work. But then you do get a cool black metal section in the middle of the song. Reclaimed Strength starts off with some somber fucking acoustic guitars that was very beautifully done, with a somber lead on top, but then the song almost feels like what would happen if a Monomarth was a power metal band. Like, it's very power metal, but you get some, like, double bass that reminds me of, like, an epic Amon Amarth track. Then Illusions of Fragmentation, the longest track of the album at a little over 8.5 minutes. Starts off with some more dramatic acoustic guitars, and then you get a big tremolo riff and double bass work. And also in this track, you get like a more melodic doom section, like it slows down to doom territory, but then you get back a little bit more of that dissection influence with the tremolos and the blasts, before the song ends with a cool lead and more of those somber acoustic guitars. Then you get the title track, the final track of the album, Everlasting Ascendancy. Very much mostly a thrash track, like it's bringing back more of that like modern creator influence. And there's so much shredding going on. The middle does get more melodic and a little more sorrowful with the atmosphere. But other than that, this song is mostly kind of like a straight up modern thrash track with the black metal vocals. And leads upon leads upon leads. Like this song, I think there was like at least maybe 3 to 4 leads on this track. So yeah, definitely Rick showing off that he's a hell of a guitarist. Now, the production, it's very nice, and for maybe black metal standards, it's too clean, but like I said, I feel this is more melodeath than black metal, so I can let the production slide with the cleanness of it. Again, like the riff work, you do get some blackened tremolo parts, but for the most part, you get like mostly like melodeath and thrash forward guitar work on here, other than say like at one with Infinity with those like triplet chugging riffs that I brought up earlier. I have to say, Dylan, in my opinion, was the MVP of the album. His drum work was quite varied. He's got some really cool fills. He can play thrash, he can play death metal, and he can do black metal very, very well. The vocals, Rick's able to do those blackened screams very well. And the lead work, like every song on this album had some awesome lead work, whether it was providing more classic metal melodies and feels or just flat out just unleashing thrashy shred like in the title track. The lead work was quite varied and quite fun to listen to. So overall, I actually really liked this album. I'm actually going to give this a 9 out of 10. I think this is a fantastic melodic death / black metal album. Is it to the same level of a band like Dissection or Necrophobic? Not quite for me, but doesn't have to be. Malice Divine or Rick's doing a good job at creating his own sound for Canada when it comes to this type of music. So, yeah, 9 out of 10 for this. But what did you guys think if you've checked it out? Let me know your thoughts on Malice Divine's Everlasting Ascendancy in the comments below. And until next time, horns high. See you guys later.